Top 10 most explosive baseball brawls in history. Hey baseball fans, welcome back to Baseball Spark. Today we take a look at the top 10 most explosive and memorable baseball brawls in history. Our journey begins in 1996. Albert Belle and Fernando Vina. Albert Belle, known as Mr. Freeze for his icy demeanor on the field, had gained a reputation as one of the most intense and aggressive players of his era. On the flip side, Fernando Vina, a rookie at the time. The spark that ignited the powder keg came during a routine play at second base. Albert Belle, never one to shy away from a hard slide, went in aggressively, colliding with Fernando Vina in a manner that went beyond the norm. Vina took exception to Belle's slide, and words were exchanged, and the fight was on. In the ninth spot, we find ourselves in the 1986 World Series, a matchup between the New York Mets and the Boston Red Sox involving Ray Knight, the Mets' third baseman, and the Cincinnati Reds outfielder Eric Davis. However, the roots of this confrontation trace back to a regular season game in 1986. Davis, then a young and dynamic player for the Reds, had stolen second base with a considerable lead. Knight, known for his hard-nosed and gritty style of play, took exception to what he perceived as a lack of respect for the game's unwritten rules. This incident planted the seed for the explosive confrontation that would unfold on the grandest stage of them all, the World Series. The tension between Knight and Davis reached a boiling point during Game 6. In the seventh inning, a routine fly ball to center field turned into a collision at second base between the two players. Davis slid aggressively, and Knight, true to his reputation, responded back to protect his territory. The Mets would go on to win that game, ultimately securing their championship. The Ray Knight vs. Eric Davis clash remains in the collective memories of baseball fans. In the eighth spot, we step back in time to 1965. The stage, Candlestick Park in San Francisco. The players, Juan Marichal, the Giants' legendary pitcher, and John Roseboro, the Dodgers' catcher. It was a sunny afternoon on August 22, 1965. Marichal was on the mound for the Giants, facing off against Dodgers pitcher Sandy Koufax. A series of brushback pitches and heated exchanges set the scene for one of the most infamous brawls in baseball history. As tension rose, Marichal found himself in a heated exchange with Dodgers catcher John Roseboro. The situation escalated when Marichal, in a fit of rage, swung his bat at Roseboro's head. The shocking moment cleared the benches. Marichal was suspended for 8 games and fined, marking one of the harshest penalties for an on-field incident in baseball at the time. Our seventh pick takes us to the dramatic clash between the Texas Rangers and the Toronto Blue Jays in 2016. The tension had been simmering since the previous postseason when the Blue Jays eliminated the Rangers in a dramatic ALDS. Fast forward to May 15, 2016, the two teams faced off again. In the eighth inning, Blue Jays outfielder Jose Bautista, known for his powerful bat flips, was hit by a pitch from the Rangers' Matt Bush. What followed was a chaotic scene on the field, with punches thrown, players shoving each other, and the benches clearing. Our sixth pick transports us back to the fall of 1977. Players were George Brett and Greg Nettles. The setting? Kauffman Stadium. The matchup? The Kansas City Royals versus the New York Yankees. On October 9, 1977, tensions boiled over in the first inning. Brett hit a sizzling line drive over the top of center fielder Mickey Rivers for a triple off of pitcher Ron Guidry. George Brett came cleats up sliding hard, but not dirty Greg Nettles, the Yankees' third baseman, seems to kick Brett for the hard slide, and Brett decides to pop up and throw a haymaker into Guidry's face. And with that, history was made. You would think someone would get kicked out, suspended, or fined, right? Nope, not in those days. Nothing happened at all. They dusted themselves off and probably became friends and had an adult beverage at the end. Well, maybe not. The series was a hard-nosed slobber knocker all the way through. In the fifth spot, we rewind to 2017, Bryce Harper and Hunter Strickland. The seeds of this confrontation were sown 3 years earlier, during the 2014 National League Division Series. Bryce Harper, already making a name for himself as one of baseball's brightest young stars, had taken Hunter Strickland deep with 2 home runs. Fast forward to 2017, and the tension between the two had not dissipated. It had simmered beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to erupt. The powder keg exploded on May 29, 2017, when the Nationals faced off against the Giants. In a seemingly routine at-bat, Strickland plunked Harper with a pitch, but Harper cleared the mound and Strickland, anticipating retaliation, was ready for the showdown. The benches cleared and a full-blown brawl ensued. Beyond the immediate impact on that game, suspensions were handed out to both players, reflecting the severity of the altercation. In the fourth spot, the year was 2004. At the center of the storm were two iconic players, Alex Rodriguez and Jason Varitek. July 24, 2004 at Fenway Park. In the third inning, Red Sox pitcher Bronson Arroyo threw a pitch inside, causing A-Rod to react in a way that incited the Red Sox dugout. What followed was a heated exchange between Rodriguez and Varitek, the Red Sox captain and catcher. What makes this brawl particularly memorable is the iconic image of Varitek shoving his catcher's mitt into Rodriguez's face, sparking a benches-clearing altercation. Beyond the theatrics, the impact of this brawl was felt not just in the game, but throughout the season. The Red Sox rallied to win that game, and eventually, the 2004 World Series, breaking the curse of the Bambino. In the third spot, we transport ourselves to the intense battleground of the 2003 American League Championship Series, or ALCS, between the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox again. This clash wasn't just about securing a World Series spot. The players at the center of the storm, Pedro Martinez, the fire-throwing ace of the Red Sox, and Don Zimmer, the veteran Yankees coach. Game 3, a pivotal moment in the series. Tensions had been escalating throughout the game. The pressure reached a tipping point when Pedro Martinez found himself in the center of a bench-clearing altercation. In the fourth inning, Martinez, facing the Yankees' Kareem Garcia, threw a high and tight pitch. The benches cleared, and in the midst of the chaos, the then 72-year-old Yankees coach Don Zimmer charged toward Martinez. Zimmer, in a fit of frustration and perhaps defending his players, lunged at Pedro Martinez. Martinez, trying to avoid the collision, sidestepped Zimmer, causing the coach to tumble to the ground. This clash wasn't just about physical confrontation, it was about the collision of eras. A grizzled veteran coach defending his team against a flamboyant and dominant pitcher. The fallout of the incident fueled debates about the role of coaches in on-field altercations. In the runner-up spot, we travel back to the scorching summer of 1993, where the Texas Rangers veteran Nolan Ryan, then 46, found himself entangled in one of the most enduring moments in baseball lore. The protagonist of this story? Ryan, a living legend known for his fiery fastball and intimidating presence. The antagonist? Robin Ventura, a young and ambitious White Sox third baseman. In the first inning of that game, Ventura was hit by one of Nolan Ryan's fastballs. It seemed like a routine hit by pitch, but Ventura's frustration simmered. The next inning, as fate would have it, Ventura found himself facing Ryan again. What happened next was far from routine. Ventura, in his next at-bat, charged the mound. What he might not have expected was the lightning-quick reaction of the elder statesman. Ryan secured Ventura in a headlock and delivered a series of well-placed punches. The image of Ryan, twice Ventura's age, asserting his dominance over the younger player, became an instant classic. Ventura was ejected from the game, and Ryan continued to pitch, with a blood-stained uniform and blood still running down his chin. That'll teach Ventura not to stand on the tracks when the Nolan Ryan Express is coming through. And now we arrive at the main event on our list, the intense showdown between Pete Rose and Bud Harrelson during the 1973 National League Championship Series. The players at the center? Pete Rose, the relentless competitor, and Bud Harrelson, the scrappy infielder for the Mets. October 8, 1973 at Shea Stadium, the NLCS between the Reds and the Mets. The incident we're exploring began in the fifth inning of Game 3. Rose, known for his aggressive style of play, slid hard into second base attempting to break up a double play. The target of his slide? Bud Harrelson, the Mets shortstop. Harrelson took exception to Rose's slide and tempers flared. The two players engaged in a heated exchange, pushing and shoving in the middle of the diamond. The benches cleared and chaos ensued. Rose and Harrelson were both ejected from the game. What many may not know is that Harrelson, known for his gritty style of play, had been trash-talking Rose throughout the series, adding a psychological element to the confrontation. Rose's hard slide into second base wasn't just a reaction to a close play, it was a calculated move. There you have it, folks. The top 10 most explosive baseball brawls in history. Did we miss any memorable ones? Let us know in the comments below. That's a wrap on this episode. Stepping away from the mic, but not from the action, we'll catch you in the next inning.